Hello, everybody. Tis I, the crap artist. And I've only been awake for like an hour or so. The cats are fed and nothing else is done. I still got to get ready for work and get my shit together. The visage is not, you know, put together yet. I just wanted to come on here and tell my story from yesterday. It was fucking terrible. It was fucking terrible. I had a panic attack at work. And now I'm going to tell you the story. So all day, there was zero customers, zero foot traffic. The only people that came into my shop were people that, just hang out normally and other vendors. And I didn't have actual customers until noon. At which time, and I'm calling this an actual customer, nobody bought anything until 2 o'clock. But at noon, I had this old guy come into my shop, and he had long hair and a beard, and he was totally unkempt. He just looked like he rolled out of bed and came to the flea market. And he had a baseball cap with a wolf on it and a t-shirt with a wolf on it. And he comes in and he's completely bewildered looking around in my shop. And I said, uh-oh. Because just set off all my bells and whistles and red flags and reminded me of that old creepy colostomy geezer from a couple of years ago that I had a lot of trouble dealing with. And so I interact with him and I say, "Sir, is there something I can help you with?" And he starts talking to me about his bag of batteries that he has. And I can't really hear him all that well because it's very loud in the flea market. And so he was either trying to sell them to me or he was just being an old man showing me his score. So I says to him, "Well, sir, I really don't have anything in my shop that needs batteries. I don't sell watches or tiny toys or anything like that. Maybe I can show you somewhere else in the flea market that might be able, might be more up your alley." And he just keeps talking. He starts talking about some friend of his, and I still can't really understand what he's saying, but he's talking about he's got diabetes and so on and so forth. And then I got a mother and daughter duo come into my shop, and they're trying to shop, and he's just yammering away. And I pull the mother aside and I say, "Ma'am, I'm having a little bit of trouble dealing with this gentleman in my shop. He's not leaving and he's not catching the hint." And she says, "Okay, I got you." And she says out loud, "Hey, when are you closing today? Aren't you closing early?" And I said, yeah, I am. I'm trying to get out of here like almost now." And she goes, "Oh yeah, well, we'll be fast. Don't worry." And they just walk around the store and they leave. And the old man is still in there. And as soon as they leave, a bunch more people come in, like 4 or 5 more people. And I'm like, oh no, he's never going to get out. And I deal with them and they don't buy anything either because he's still talking. He's still trying to get my attention and they want my attention. And they just get frustrated and leave. But he does not. And when everybody is out of my store and that man is still standing there yammering away, I say, "Sir, I have been very nice. I am a place of business and I am trying to run my business. Please leave." And he's still talking. And I said, "Sir, I asked you to leave." And he said, "I want to finish my story. I got to tell you." "No, sir, I asked you to leave." But no, I asked you to leave. Please leave, sir." And he's still talking. And I point to the door. I said, "Please get out of my store." He goes, "That's a door." I said, "Yeah. Please get the fuck out of my store." And he's still standing there and he goes, "Oh, I could just go around the corner." And I said, "Yeah, do that." And he's still talking. And I know that he probably had dementia. I know that he probably had dementia. And I could have been a little bit more compassionate and taken him to the office and gotten somebody on the loudspeaker or gotten him an ambulance or something to, maybe his handler is around. But another part of me has dealt with people like this before that fake dementia and are actually predatory. And I couldn't tell the difference. I really couldn't tell the difference. And it felt like a test that I really, really didn't want to take. I didn't want to have to be responsible for this old man. I am just a salesperson. That is just a flea market. I don't have any kind of medical training or psych training or anything like that, and I should not have to be expected to deal with it. And I should not have to be expected to deal with it in any manner other than just trying to run my fucking business and not have my customers get freaked out. And part of me is kind of disappointed in the way I handled it, but part of me is like, man. So anyway, after I finally got him out of my store, I'm not even done telling the story. After I got him out of my store, I had to shut the doors, and I don't actually have walls. I am in a cage, and I had a fucking panic attack. I had to get down on the floor and hyperventilate, and the maintenance lady, Maria, is Bob, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just need a minute. The weird part's over. I just need a minute. And I did my little decompression. I opened my door and I went to the office and told the managers, "Hey, there's a guy with dementia running around in here. You might want to keep your eyes open." And that was it. I made a whole, like $9 yesterday. Oh, shit. Sometimes you eat the fish and sometimes the fish eats you. Okay, bye.